Hey, how are y'all? So today I'm going to talk about how I am currently beating exhaustion with changing my diet and something called HIIT. So I have been incredibly exhausted for the last month, and I sat down and looked at what I was doing and realized I had allowed myself to fall into the eating processed foods trap that's so easy to do here in America. And so I stepped up and I knew there was a place here in Jacksonville that was full of fresh fruits and vegetables. When you walked inside, you could actually smell the fragrance of the peaches and the blueberries and the broccoli and all that stuff. That's one of the things I love so much about markets in other countries. You just even get close to the fruit and vegetable market and you can smell it. So beautiful. So I remembered the name, and it's Freshfield Farms here in Jacksonville. And so Irene and I went over there, and we loaded up on fresh fruits and vegetables. $100. I had literally a full shopping cart with $100. So took it home, made my soup, and we've been eating fresh fruits and vegetables every day since then. And I am starting to feel a lot better. I also got some athletic greens. I've been drinking green juices or green powders of some sort for the last 15 years, but I didn't have any in Colombia. So I got back here and I bought my favorite brand. It's a little pricey, but it's really good. It's called Athletic Greens. I learned about it from Tim Ferriss, who's one of my biggest mentors. So I've taken some notes about how to video, trying to up my game. So as I work, if I'm doing something that I know how to, then I like to listen to a podcast. Grow this mind like a filing cabinet or maybe a hard drive. In today's world, it's probably a hard drive. And somebody had spoken about a book called, I'll show it to you, The 1 Minute Workout. And when I hear about a good book, I put it in my Amazon shopping cart, and I don't buy it right then and there, but I delete it from my cart and it goes down to the bottom and it's on my Amazon account. So I decided I was going to add a book to my order. I'm trying to add more books now, like one book every couple of weeks to my orders to get back to reading that good material that I know I need to consume. And so I got this one. So I started reading it. Oh my God, it's impressively interesting. It explains the science of something called HIIT. HIIT is when you work out for 30 seconds really, really intensely. It can be riding a bike. It can be on a stationary bike. It can be walking. It can be anything. And then for 4.5 minutes, you do it easy. And then you go back to 30 seconds intense. And you do a minimum of 4 up to 8 reps of those 30-second intense. So do you know that Roger Bannister, he is the man who ran the first 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister used the HIIT techniques to be able to get himself to run that fast. Remember PX90? That crazy workout that came back in the 2000s where you kicked your butt using your own weight? That came from an 11-minute workout designed for the Royal Canadian Air Force. Back during the Cold War in the 1950s, Canada was helping us out because the fastest route to America was over the Arctic. So they put all these men with airplanes up in the top part of Canada. So these guys were living in these little boxes. Can you imagine being in a small box all day long? And they were getting out of shape. So they weren't even fit to fly after a few months. So this gentleman came up with a 11-minute workout, which kicked their butt, and they kept them in shape to fly. Well, PX90 is created from that 11-minute workout. They say there's nothing new under the sun. This is just proof of that. So, an 11-minute workout has turned into PX90. The HIIT techniques has helped Roger Bannister reach and run the first 4-minute mile. And there's extra explanation of people who won Olympics, who did things that were not beaten for 16 years, and they were using the HIIT technique. And of course, back then no one talked about what they were doing because they wanted to keep that themselves to keep them able to win the Olympics and not have so much competition. So it wasn't shared or talked about. Okay, so yesterday I went for a walk in the forest, and I was almost done with my walk, and I remembered, oh my God, I'm supposed to do these HIIT things. So I did. And there's this HIIT music on Spotify. You just put in HIIT workout, and it plays a regular song that we know, and then makes it 30 seconds fast, and I get 1 minute slow. So I think I did 8 to 10 of those HIIT things, just walking uber fast. I actually got a crick in my side. I haven't gotten a crick in my side. I can't remember when. It wasn't bad. I could handle it. And then I went to the picnic tables to do my journaling stuff. You don't want to see my journaling. It's horrendous. I was so full of energy, I couldn't sit down. So I would write for a few seconds, and then I'd do some push-ups. And then I'd write for a few more seconds or read some of this book. And I'd do, you know, that exercise where you're on the table and you're doing the back of your triceps. I'm a little rusty on some of this stuff. So I was there for probably 20 minutes, and I was reading, but I was also standing, and I was doing different exercises. My energy stayed up until about 1 o'clock. It was crazy. All I did was walk fast for like 4 minutes. So, I just want to say I'm so thankful to my parents. Mom and Dad did not allow us to have a TV. We went back to that crazy religious stuff. But we were allowed to have books. I could read 3 books a day. And my ability to read and my love for knowledge is allowing me to create a world and a life that's awesome. That's worth living. That I'm glad I'm doing. I'm just thankful every day to God that I have the ability to think about, okay, I'm having a problem. What do we do to fix it? And that's also been my 10 years of going to Tony Robbins events and being in that events, his events and that atmosphere that really helped me also change how I think. So there you have it. A short tidbit of Joy's life. Y'all take care of yourself. Love ya. Hey, Hannah. Nice to see you on here. Bye.